Hi, One Must Bear Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Right now we're going to take a look at Conference USA in college basketball as of February 9th. The top two teams in the conference right now, UAB and Middle Tennessee State, have both been roughly 50-50 this year and during conference play against the spread. They have both gotten impressive wins and covers, but in general, the market seems to have a pretty good read on them, and they're probably not going to have any notable overall value one way or the other ATS-wise going forward, but we'll see. Marshall, though, is one team that was on an incredible ATS run very recently, and they may have value going forward despite a couple of recent ATS hiccups. They have lost 2 of their last 3 against the spread, but before that, they went on an 11-1-1 against the spread run over 13 games. And the market does seem to be catching up with Marshall right now, but I'm guessing that they'll still have some identifiable value going forward in spots. And I'm looking at their season-ending home games, actually, against Louisiana Tech on March 3rd and then against Southern Miss on March 5th. Those games, of course, are still a month away, so a lot can happen between now and then, but both of those teams are looking like they could be vulnerable on the road at the end of the regular season. And then Florida International has been very good ATS all season long in general. They're 10-5-1 against the spread overall, 4-1-1 over their last 6, and they've been particularly beating spreads on the road. They're 7-1 ATS on the road and often winning and covering by a margin. They have upcoming road games at Rice on the 20th and at Florida Atlantic on the 27th, and I'm going to be looking for a possible line value with FIU in both of those. Then getting back to Louisiana Tech, they're 2-7 against the spread over their last 9, and some of those ATS losses were close, but they do seem vaguely overvalued at the moment, and I'm probably going to be looking to fade them in upcoming spots in addition to the Marshall game in March. They have 2 tough home games coming up against Middle Tennessee on the 11th and then UAB on the 13th, and they may not quite be able to hang in those and might lose both of them ATS if the games have competitive spreads. And then finally, one of the worst teams in the conference, UTSA, has also been a bad bet recently, and they're probably going to be worth fading from here on out. UTSA is 1-5 ATS over their last 6. They're not getting much of a home court edge at all, and it feels like they're probably going to fade faster than the market's going to be able to keep up with them. They have 7 games remaining overall in the regular season, and I'm guessing that they'll lose at least 4 of those against the spread. And that's a look at the Conference USA from an ATS perspective as of February 9th.